Welcome to this Wellness Wisdom Update. I'm Tiffany Brown-Bush, and it's my pleasure to help superwomen live fit with happy hormones. And it's been a little while since I've done an update, and there have been some really interesting shifts and changes with clients recently with my nutrition coaching as well as the FRL Challenge, and it really got me to thinking about the inner child again, and I thought, you know what, it's time to make another video. And the concept with all the holiday activities swirling around us and all the, Thanksgiving and people visiting, the concept with the challenge has been to still stay on track and that certain foods are blocked out. And that has been a really triggering idea for people that I'm coaching. And I really want to speak to this idea of, for right now, I make changes, but long term, I'm not really going to make these types of changes. And specifically, what's said to me often is, I can't imagine a life without pizza. I can't imagine a life without cake. I can't imagine a life without. And as someone who lives this life, and then I also understand the dynamics of the individuals who kind of bring this to me. And when I say the dynamics, I'm speaking to the part of struggling with food, of struggling with portion control, of struggling with yo-yo dieting, compulsive eating or binge eating, or lifelong weight struggles. When I think about those dynamics and then my own experience with boxing out certain foods, I know that it's possible to do this, and that part of what's happening with the I can't imagine a life without these foods is that emotional inner child piece that I've spoken to before. You can have an idea in your head. I want to get healthy. I want to get rid of these symptoms that I'm experiencing. I want to lose weight. I want to finally get control. I want to end all cravings. I want to teach my family how to eat XYZ. Those are the concepts. But it seems like you self-sabotage constantly. It doesn't feel good to make the changes. It doesn't feel good to restrict yourself or limit yourself. But when you tell yourself you can have just a little, you're not that person either. So it's all this interesting little kind of lie that we're participating in. I'll just have a bite of cake, and a bite of cake would be considered a lapse, and a lapse becomes another lapse, which becomes a relapse. And what you find is you've completely disinhibited yourself, you're off program, and you've snowballed, and it's gotten away from you, and you're not that little bit kind of girl. You're not that little bit kind of guy, right? So if you're not that little bit kind of guy, and there's this idea of a protocol that will get you to health and weight loss that boxes these foods out, then you very well may be looking at a lifetime of, no, I can't have the traditional version of that food. And if you step back and you look at that logically for who you are, for what the situation is, that makes sense. So what's the struggle? Well, the struggle is the emotional piece. The inner child that's saying, well, I want what I want, and that doesn't feel good, and that's not how we've always done things, and wham. That's really what it's frustration, it's anger, it's disappointment, it's sadness. I can't have this, and I'm not happy. And then that's the part of you that sabotages, that just goes in and throws a little temper tantrum, and just eats everything it wants to eat, and it just makes a mess of everything. And so that's why I say that the inner child has to be grown up, and that we have to learn how to parent and tell him or her no, and provide parameters and guidelines for behavior and consequences, and sit down and have nice little conversations about why things didn't go well and what needs to be done in the future. It's very possible that as you're navigating your new nutrition program, you're working with me on the challenge, or a coachee of mine, that you will be faced with, because of one reason or another, this concept of not being able to have something long term. And I want to really encourage you to do two things. to look at what you're getting back. A life without is not the perspective I encourage you to take. It's a life with better health, increased happiness, improvement in relationships, more energy, as well as increased libido. All those things that you're going to get as a result of stepping away from cake or pizza, right? And to two, look at this inner child and see what it is that your inner child needs, how it needs to grow up, and what triggers him or her, and how you can develop some new skills to mature your inner child a little bit. Okay, so I just wanted to speak to this piece. It kept coming up in my sessions. I hope this has been helpful. Please, think about this. Bring it up when I speak to you on a call or in the group or wherever. And like the video, comment on it, share it, all that good stuff. Visit our websites, www.frlwithtiffany.com and www.tiffany'sfitforlife.com. And until next time, live fit.